Hello guys, and welcome to another video tutorial, and this time we're going to talk about hacking wireless passwords and wireless networks. And the tool that I'm going to use is Aircrack, and it's not actually one tool, but it's a suite of several different tools. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to use my Kali Linux virtual machine, which I already have loaded here on my screen, as you can see. And to do this tutorial, we're gonna use the terminal window. So the tool is a command line tool, and we're gonna use that one. So first of all, what is Aircrack? Aircrack is a combination of several tools like AirDump, AirPlay, and things like that. Those tools are the purpose of those tools is to intercept a exchange of a pre-shared key in a wireless network. For example, if you have a WPA2 PSK authentication, then the pre-shared key is going to be exchanged when the client is connecting, and the purpose of Aircrack is to actually intercept these packets and using a password list try to crack them and get the password from there, and eventually you should be able to connect to a wireless network. So if this is not, if the network you're attempting to hack, if it's a WPA network, WPA2, but it's not a PSK type of authentication, you really shouldn't bother attempting with that tool, because it's really not for working on any other authentication methods. So there are other different tools that we can discuss further, but for Aircrack we're looking at the PSK kind of authentication. So to start with the tool, we need Kali Linux, which has all these already pre-installed, and we will need a wireless adapter connected to the Kali Linux machine. And in my case, I have here as a USB adapter, I have a alpha network antenna that's connected through the USB to my machine, to my host laptop, and then I forward that to my virtual machine here. And first of all, to look for our wireless adapter, I'm going to use iwconfig. And as you can see, I have a wireless LAN adapter here, which is called LAN 0. So to start with the tool, so first of all, here is the one that we are starting with, which is the Airmon NG. And if we look at the help, there is a very basic help here. Of course, you can do -- help, which will give you the same thing. The idea here is to start monitoring interface using the wireless interface. So what you need to do is Airmon NG start, and you need to select the interface, which is WLAN 0. Now it tells me that there are 3 processes that are using this interface, and they have some sort of lock that are preventing me from starting the monitoring. So what I can do here is, if I would like to resolve this automatically, it means that it's going to kill all these processes. And in this case, since I don't really care about this connection here, I do have an Ethernet connection, so I'm okay with that. And I just go to yes, hit enter, and it's supposed to kill all these 3 processes with those process IDs. Now if I type iwconfig, I can see that it successfully started the monitoring interface, which is a LAN 0 mon. And this interface is going to be used for monitoring. I think also if I do Airmon NG, yep, there it shows the monitoring interface running. This is the driver that it's using, and of course some information about the chipset, which is a Ralink. So if you want to stop that monitoring interface, you just need to do Airmon NG stop 10 mon, and now it should be stopped. If I do ifconfig, it's no longer there, and if I do that, it shows it here, but it's not really listening. So anyway, for the purpose of this video, we need to start it. Start LAN 0. It's gonna take a second now. We have the monitoring interface up and running, and we go further. So the next thing we need to do is another thing, by the way, you can do is you can select the channel on which you want to listen, but we want to listen on all of them, so we can see all the networks. So the next thing we need to do, and the other tool that we are going to use here, is the aero dump. That's the tool, aero dump ng, and there is a good help for it. The idea of this tool is to actually look through all the networks and try to capture authentication packets. So let me just show it to you how it works. Aero dump ng 10mon, and this is going to listen on all on the monitoring interface, and it's going to find that networks. Just 1 second, for some reason it doesn't show that. Aero dump ng 10, sorry, 10, no, 10mon. Maybe I have an issue with my antenna, so let me just restart that. Aircrack ng stop, sorry, aero mon ng stop 10 mon. Let me just disconnect the antenna and connect it back in. Sometimes it fails. It's a USB device. Okay, IW config, nothing here, and now I'm putting it back in. Should be already there. IW config, yeah, it is. So air mon ng start 10. Let me see if I can kill those processes. And this one, okay, that one is down. IW config, if config, and now I start it again without any of these processes. Another thing you can do is actually do a check kill. This should check for these kind of processes and kill them before you run it. So now I should be able to excuse me, to start it up, see if it's there. Okay guys, I did have to reboot the virtual machine and clear the buffer of the alpha antenna, but now everything should be working fine. So what I have is again the wireless monitoring interface here. As you can see, you haven't missed anything. Actually, I just checked if we have the wireless adapter and then started the listening mod, and that's it. And now if we open another terminal and just use aero dump ng with the wireless 0 mon, it should start seeing any wireless networks in my area. And as you can see, these are the wireless access points and these are the clients, and you can see which client is associated with which access point. This is the authentication type here, which is pre-shared key in every case. There is also a wireless with the web encryption, but we're gonna play with this one for now. Another thing we can do with aerodump is actually listen to a specific network. So if I press Ctrl+C and I want to listen to clients connected to this network, which is my home network, let me just show you the command. Aerodump -C, which is the channel here, and in my case the channel is 9. The BSS ID, which is the MAC address of the wireless access point, and then we want to write it down any PSK authentications on the VLAN 0 mon interface. Now what this is going to do is it's going to start recording any PSK authentications related to this wireless LAN, and it's going to focus only on this network. And these are all the machines that are connected to my network, as you can see here. These are some statistics about the transfer of data, the channel again, megabytes, the encryption type, cipher, and the authentication type. So another thing you can do, if you want to, you can use AirPlay to de-authenticate some of the clients, because if in a regular situation all these clients are going to be connected to the network and they're going to use the network, and what you're doing only is sniffing and listening for packets exchange between these, but since they're already connected, they're not going to exchange the pre-shared key anymore. They already have that connection, they have encrypted connection between them. So in order to do that, instead of waiting for a new client to show up or someone to reconnect, you can push someone out of the network using AirPlay, and then this client, by sending the authentication and the association packets, this client is going to drop off from the network, and the client is supposed to reconnect again automatically. And this is when you're listening for a PSK authentication, pre-shared key exchange. So what you can do, another terminal, and just use AirPlay, which is another part of the Aircrack suite, AirPlay -0. So actually, let me just show you AirPlay and AirPlay help menu, maybe double dash. Okay, so these are the options here. You can see not that much, and it's quite simple to use. Here's the command I'm going to use, AirPlay -0 for the authentication package, 1 for the number of the authentications, -A, and -A is the access point address. So I'm going to take it from here. That's the access point address. -C for the client MAC address, and this is which client we want to kick off the network. Let's just see one of the clients that's making a lot of traffic and frames. That's the one I'm looking for. So let me take that MAC address. 1 second. Copy that. So -A, -C, and then the interface that we are using, which is 10. Oh, sorry, 10 mon. Waiting for the beacon, and then it sent the authentication packets. So the idea here is that this client was pushed out of the network, and it connected again, of course, really fast. We can do that several different times. Like for example, instead of 1, we can use 10 packets. So it's going to kick that client out of the network really, really aggressive. And we should have, or we might have the pre-shared key already captured, that exchange. So once we did that, and if we're happy with the number of the authentications that we did, we can of course do that against a lot of clients or all of the clients here, and that will increase our chances of capturing something more than, a bigger portion of the pre-shared key exchange, and hopefully increase our chances of hacking that network. So now what we can do is just type Control-C, and in the folder that I am, we already have a lot of PCAPs. These are all captured from this kind of capture that we did, and we can now run a password cracking tool against them, and hopefully we would be able to decrypt the encryption key. So the command here that we're going to use is finally the Aircrack command. Aircrack. There is a help, of course, which is again quite simple. So what we're going to do is use -W for a word list of passwords. Let me see if I can find the word list that I have. Let me see if SFUtils helpers. Okay, that's the word list here. I'm going to use one of these, so let me get the file path. And you can download word lists from everywhere, or you probably have one of your own, but the attack is as good as your word list is. So let's just try with numeric, which of course would not work because I know the password of that network, but let's just do it for a testing purposes. And now you can run that against all of the pcap files or the capture files. If you don't provide it with an SSID here, because as you can see in the options, you get this chance to add a SSID, and it will look through all the packets and just look for this SSID that you care about, the access point that you want. If you don't provide it, it's going to list all the access point captures that you have. And as you can see here, it says one handshake there is here. So using number 3, which is the one network that I care about, it's going to try to crack it. I tested 22 keys, but the key was not found. I think I already have the password here somewhere. Let me just look at it. Word list or password list. psk.cap. Key not found. So the idea here is that if you have a big word list of passwords, like for example several hundred thousands, it's going to run it against that capture, and it's supposed to decrypt the password for you. It's not working very easily, and it's not working every time, but if you're patient and if you have more than one de-authentications, you have more than one options to test with, and luckily you'll probably have that password decrypted. So that was pretty much the usage of Aircrack suite, and I hope you liked it. If you liked the video, just hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much, and goodbye.